there's a problem in our industry that the more you kill yourself for a movie, the braver you are, and that's bullshit.
That was Paul Rogers talking to the press after he won an Oscar for Best Film Editing for the film Everything Everywhere All at Once. And it's been a breath of fresh air watching him talk about the issues of work-life balance in the industry, because it is a major issue, and I wanted to talk about it a bit more this morning. So recently, he has a few choice quotes in IndieWire, and he said, "Before that film, I worked a lot of my career with that mindset of like, I'm the first one in, I'm the last one out, and I work longer and harder than everybody. And the more exhausted I am, the more proud I am." He goes on to say, that ethos of like, let's work long hours, let's not see our family, let's drive ourselves into the ground, it doesn't improve the work at all. It doesn't benefit the work. So that was his thought process, his shift in mindset after having worked on the film during the pandemic. And A24 was able to give the post-production team a longer than expected post-production cycle. Having that extended post-production schedule really enabled them to have a healthier life, and having that healthier life allowed them to do better in their work. And that is so important and so key, and something that editors and assistant editors and people working in post-production have been fighting for many years. There are so many editors at the top of their game who work on huge, big budget films and TV shows that are just put through the meat grinder day in and day out. They finish their shows, they're exhausted, they're burned out. Everybody loves the work that they do. They think it's something magical and special. And these men and women walk out and they are wounded souls. Like, it is soul crushing to work on these shows at the pressure and the lack of freedom to be able to relax and spend time with friends and family. There are other editors that I've talked with through my work on the JUMPICUT conference who are also Oscar nominated, and I know that they've been sacrificing their health, they've been sacrificing their relationship with their families, and yet they don't speak about it as openly as Paul Rogers has and is right now. And that is what is so impressive. It's not a revelation, it's not surprising to me that our industry has work-life balance problem. What is surprising is that he has been so open to talk about it. Having him talk about it, it's a gift, and it allows those of us who also work at the top of our game or who are less experienced to point to Paul Rogers and say, that's an example of what a team can do. You can make an amazing film that touches millions of people, and if you're given the time and the space to have a healthy life, when you put your pencils down and you finish working and you're able to enjoy time with family and friends, even during the week and especially on the weekends, and that's what you're able to do. You're able to make something that is really impactful to many millions of people. So that's what I deserve as well. That's what we all need to be saying, no matter what levels of work. Everybody in this country, especially in America, we have a major issue with work-life balance. So it's really incredible to see Paul Rogers, and it's inspiring. And I thank him so much for being brave and having the courage to speak out about this.
They're my friends first, before everything, and I care really deeply about them. And no matter what happens, this movie really felt like an excuse to just spend time with people that I cared about, and Dan and Daniel, two people that I care really deeply about. And they also they allowed us to make this film in a really humane way. Reasonable hours, time with our family, no yelling, no screaming, no fights. It was all just, let's love each other and let's make a great film to help the world. And And I've been trying to take that forward with me to every project I do, There's a problem in our industry that the more you kill yourself for a movie, the braver you are, and that's bullshit. We can make films, and everyone's job, we can do our jobs, and we can live our lives. And the more fully we are able to live our lives and the more humanely we treat ourselves and the people around us, the better we can do our jobs. And they were really, that starts at the top with them. So yeah, I really value that in them. Thank you.
And that is so important, and I'm just so relieved, and it's so refreshing to hear him and somebody at his level, after having won an Oscar, to really talk about how dangerous and unproductive it is to have these post schedules where you lose sleep, your health declines, your relationships with your family and your friends declines, and your mental state declines. It is just horrible. And your performance and your work and your creativity, of course, it's going to decline. Where do we go from here? Like as editors and assistant editors, working in film and television, I'm sure many of us are in this industry because we believe in the power of stories, of motion picture stories, to impact people on an emotional, spiritual level, to help them see new perspectives and to grow as people. That's why we tell stories. And in order for us to tell the best stories, we need to lead fulfilling lives. We need to experience all the trials and tribulations and to have a full breadth of experience that life can give us. And that will enable us to empathize with and connect with the characters who have the stories that we're really trying to tell to our audiences. So in order for us to do our jobs as editors and tell meaningful stories that touch people's lives, we need to live our own lives as well. We need to have the time and the space and the freedom to do that. And what we need to do now is to take his message and really internalize it. And as an industry, you, myself, we need to design our lives to set us up for success. Really design and figure out, what do we need to be successful? What do we need to have those fulfilling relationships that we need to have in our lives? What do we need to have downtime and rest and be creative and play? And really think about what we need and then ask for it. So many people, I think, don't realize just how powerful they are. They don't give themselves the credit that they deserve. A lot of producers and directors, they don't know many editors and assistant editors because the truth is we are introverts. We like staying home inside and we don't go out. So they don't know a lot of us. But if they do meet us and they develop a professional working relationship and there's trust and faith in our ability to execute their vision for their story, they want to hold on to us, right? Because they don't know many of us. They can't just, all of a sudden find another editor down the street who they trust just as much and who is just as capable. It's really hard to find collaborators. So you have a lot of power in that kind of situation to say, you know what, I definitely want to work with you. I want to work on the project, but I need to have these set hours, these days of the week that I'm working. I'm not working Saturday and Sunday. And if we can adhere to a balanced work-life balance schedule, then I can absolutely work with you. And if they can't, then that's not the right project. And really, as a freelancer in this industry, as editors and assistant editors, because you are a freelancer and you go from show to show, you have the option of thinking about it as though you are your own boss, and you can tell people, well, these are the hours that I work and I can work on your show and adhering to those hours. So really, that's all I wanted to say. I think it's really amazing that Paul Rogers is talking about this. It's a very important topic. And I would love to hear from all of you. What do you need in order to have a better work-life balance? And what is one thing that you can ask your current job or your next job for that will help you achieve a better work-life balance. I would love to hear about it. Let me know in the comments or send me a message. And have a great rest of your day. Bye. And the film was